talk a little bit about that because I think we need to do a little bit of sober reflection amidst all the celebration towards lessons learned for the future. It's always wonderful to celebrate grace under fire. But it's important then to reflect on the nature of the fire that has required such an exercise of grace. First grade morning, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and you win. Now this aphorism of Mahatma Gandhi resonates because it is so often and so clearly true. However, it is not the whole story. The two key contributors to its truth are purpose and perseverance. And we're celebrating today the success of purpose and perseverance in the quest of a goal that promises very great benefit to the city of Oberlin and to Oberlin College. In 2001 and 2002, 3 freshly minted Oberlin College graduates remained here at Oberlin and attended graduate school. Now you're quite right if you observe that we have no counterpart of Kellogg, MIT, or Wharton here in Oberlin. Those graduate schools offer a variety of clearly defined courses, vertical if you will, that is, many virtual containers of knowledge, which, having sampled them, the student must then synthesize into his or her knowledge base. The business literature readers will recognize those as silos. In Oberlin, our 3 new alumni pursued their graduate educations on a horizontal field comparable to a huge Jackson Pollock painting, wherein the many courses were commingled as if they were colors, contiguous, continuous, and overlapping, all spread out on our little reclaimed swamp in southern Lorraine County. Our 3 created a company and pursued the idealistic goal of developing an environmentally responsible mixed-use building in the neglected retail section of an apparently bucolic college town. They did not know that though William Faulkner and Eudora Welty would have thrived in Oberlin, so too would have Stephen King and Rod Serling. There then is a dark side to our local culture, and we must recognize it. And the peculiarities that brings to our local culture have served to educate our 3 developers along 2 distinct curricular tracks. The first track has included planning, presentation, grant application, negotiation, real estate and environmental law, brownfields remediation, tax increment financing, contracts, social psychology and anthropology, and many, many more. Most of these are indeed taught in graduate school, but never in such a mix. The second track, though unanticipated, has been at least as challenging, but probably even more valuable. It has consisted of experiences totally absent from the orderly, protected environment of higher education. Herein, they have experienced skepticism, condescension, ridicule, hostility, misrepresentation, harassment, stalking, and outright hatred in our bucolic little town. All of these have flowed as unfettered expressions of change resistance, reaction, envy, and even bigotry. It should not be so hard. Now, how could this happen in Oberlin? Goodness. It's a very old story repeated throughout history. Public indifference to evil behavior. Dietrich Bonhoeffer knew all about this. We here in Oberlin would do well to pause and ponder the degree to which we are what we think we are in and we are who we claim to be. Let's not let this ever happen again as our town moves forward. Now, both of these learning tracks, the first available in textbooks, the second found only through experiencing the so-called real world, have equipped these three to pursue their careers with a wisdom and an equanimity that will be a marvel to their future colleagues. In the end, not really as it has been observed yet in sight, their adversaries have inadvertently contributed to their personal growth. We can hope that all those adversaries come to understand and feel the sting of that fact.
Meanwhile, Sustainable Community Associates have been featured in national journals and newspapers. They have won awards and grants. They have become well-known and admired in the region. Throughout their entire journey, they have been examples of energy, optimism, creativity, flexibility, innovation, ingenuity, and resolve. They have made Oberlin a more interesting place, and they have added value to both our culture and to our cityscape. And what about the results of their efforts? Construction is now underway. There are new jobs. Population and customer base will be added to our downtown. The area is already exhibiting the habitat effect, wherein every new construction stimulates change and progress around it. The project is also demonstrating to all that Oberlin, which many in our region have labeled Northern Ohio's Brigadoon, can wake up and can embrace progress. We know that the more difficult it is to succeed, the greater is the accomplishment. Let's also acknowledge that the more difficult the challenge, the sweeter the success. No task you face in the future will ever be daunting for any of you. Our warmest congratulations to Naomi, Ben, and Josh.